In the NHL tonight, it's the first of a home-and-home series between the Montreal Canadiens and the Hartford Whalers, and if you like goaltenders, you'll love the matchup tonight. Two of the best in the league. Mike Liut and Patrick Roy are tied for third spot in goals against average. The 32-year-old Liut has started over 500 games in the NHL. He starts as usual tonight, and his backup is Steve Weeks. Patrick Roy is the starter tonight for the Montreal Canadiens. Brian Hayward is having an excellent season as well, but Jean Perron says the man who's hot will stay between the pipes for a streak, and Patrick Roy is starting his second consecutive game and would like to play for a while. Terry Gregson is the referee. Wayne Bonney and Mark Vines are the linesmen, and this game from Montreal is underway as the Whalers start curiously their best offensive line of late. Paul McDermott, Kerry Wilson, and Dave Tippett against Ryan Walter, Bobby Smith, and Claude Lemieux. Lemieux snaps one that's deflected wide of the net. Number 0 is Neil Sheehy, the former Flame. He's on defense playing with Ulf Samuelsson and clears the puck to center. Terry Wilson couldn't hold on to the puck. The potential all-star defense of Svoboda and Chelios is out for Montreal. Bobby Smith to Svoboda. Spins around and puts the puck into the corner. Lemieux just tipped it there as Samuelsson clears not out. Bobby Smith, 2 men in front. Centering pass off the crossbar. Lemieux put it up, and that looked like it might have hit the inside mesh. But Terry Gregson was in good position, and he waved it off right away. 2 Canadians standing in front of the net, though. First minute of play and a great chance for Montreal. No score. Whalers changing on the fly. Turgeon, Francis, and Dineen, the line that should be their best offensive unit, is on the ice. Long pass for Shell Deline doesn't get through. Here's Guy Carbonneau. Had his stick lifted. Carbonneau, Gainey, and Deline may be employed all night against Francis, Turgeon, and Dineen. See how Jean Perron works that matchup. Here's Kevin Dineen. He's off to the All-Star game in St. Louis next week. Takes a bump from Bob Gainey. Deline keeps the puck in to Gainey. Carbonneau's in front. Gainey doesn't see him and get him the puck. Here's Carbonneau behind the net to Deline. Snaps it just wide. Another great chance for Montreal. Carbonneau's after the puck, and a delayed offside is called. A minute and 39 seconds into the first period. No score, but it could be a different story.
Well, Perron likes the way that his hockey club's starting tonight, and they have played well as of late. However, they have not been without adversity. Perron has had his hands full. He changed practice time from 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock one day, and I don't know whether that created the whole rift within the Canadiens dressing room, but all of a sudden that 3-hour practice turned into a real melee within the dressing room. Take a look, first of all, at Claude Lemieux's shot right off the top of the crossbar. Came down, did not go in.
That is the bar.
That was a close one, but boy, the Montreal Canadiens have had lots of action, and it's been off the ice.
Larry Robinson, with his yearly criticism of his coach, shook things up in the past week. Everybody had lots to talk about and write about, though.
And they like it here in Montreal, don't they? Lots of hockey news in the papers every single day here.
Mike Lawler on defense with Rick Green in his back to get the puck. The Canadiens have been using 5 defensemen. Tonight they dress 6. Stéphane Richer, leading goal scorer on the team with 30, is out on a line with Shane Corson and Mats Naslund as the Whalers forecheck and force the Canadiens back. Now here's Lawler up the middle. Number 38 dumps the puck in. Corson's in after Randy Ladouceur, number 29. Here's tripped up. Here's Naslund at center. He and Bobby Smith lead the team in scoring. Ladouceur off the boards. Torrey Robertson's after the puck. He's out with Ferrero and Anderson. Svoboda turns around, is pushed to the boards by Robertson, but made the play. Richer lost the puck to Anderson, who could do nothing with it, but he pushed it in over the blue line, and the play is offside.
Well, Jim, you mentioned Larry Robinson's yearly spout off with the coach. In Perron's first year, Robinson questioned whether or not he was ready for the job. That is, Perron. They went on and won the Stanley Cup. Then last year, in the early part of the season, Robinson questioned him once again. And this year, once again, Larry Robinson has been the man behind the controversy in regards to Jean Perron.
He questioned whether the team had any respect for him.
Yeah, exactly. I think at times Robinson might do it just to get the hockey club going. And I know, Roger, you and I can have some beefs about that one, but I think adversity's good.
Here's Skrudland all alone in front. Liut makes a great save on Brian Skrudland, who had time to eat a sandwich before he took the shot.
Well, I think John Kornick was down on the ice making that sandwich. Skrudlin, pretty upset at himself. He was shaking his head, but you're not going to get too many of those opportunities against Mike Liu. Watch Cordy right here. Pretty good hit on John Anderson, and that's kind of what got things going here. Skrudlin, what? He's in good position. He's got plenty of time. He lets that shot go, but Mike Liu was in pretty good position as well. He's a big man that covers a lot of room between the pipes.
Played that angle very well. Made a nice save. But the Canadiens have had all the early chances here. 3 very good ones. 1 crossbar. And Liut's made 1 great save. Here's Dave Tippett for the Whalers over the line. McDermott gets the puck. His centering pass is swept away by Chelios. Then he lost it. McDermott in front for Tippett. A second chance, and Waugh makes the save looking behind him as McDermott, who had 7 goals last week, an unlikely sniper, got a good chance.
McDermott only had 7 goals all last year. This year he has more than doubled his output with 15 already. McDermott not exactly the guy that Jack Tex Evans would have expected to be scoring as many goals as he had this year. There's the shot, and Waugh kind of takes a look around to make sure that he's got some help, but count them. There are 3 Montreal Canadiens, the 4th entering the screen in front of Waugh, and that is no surprise to Waugh.
Paul McDermott is 24 years old, was drafted out of Windsor in the OHL, and he's become a prolific goal scorer of late to the point where he's only 1 behind Sylvain Turgeon. Well, may say more about Turgeon.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a good thing that he is scoring as of late, because not too many of the other Whalers are.
Fewest goals scored in the league. Hartford Whalers average only 3 a game, only 156 goals in 51 games. There's an icing call against Montreal.
You know, this hockey club that Jack Evans coaches has had its ups and downs all year long. They got started off on the wrong foot. Of course, they had some injuries. They lost 5 games in a row. Then they came back, kind of built themselves up to 500. Then they go on a losing streak again. It has been that way all year long for the Hartford Whalers.
Well, I think last year they got what they got, 93 points on banner years out of guys. Liut was absolutely outstanding. I think this year they forgot there was hard work that got them there, and looks like they all had an easy summer and coming thinking they were going to be real Stanley Cup contenders, and the league is just too even now, and a team like Hartford has to be going out every second.
That was Roger Nielsen, who's here with Gary Green. I'm Jim Houston on the NHL Tonight as Ray Ferrero's shot is stopped by Patrick Waugh, and Claude Lemieux clears the puck by Neil Sheehy and out to center ice. Dumped right back in. Here's Larry Robinson, number 19. Just gets his pass through. Couldn't get it out, though. He got the pass up onto the wing to Lemieux. Samuelson keeps the puck in momentarily, and a pass for Lemieux was too far. Here's a race for the puck. Lemieux and Sheehy. And Sheehy did a nice job of keeping Lemieux off the puck so a teammate could touch it and icing could be called. Neil Sheehy, you don't see number 0 very often in the league. It could be several reasons, I suppose. Neil says that he took the number 0. His family's name was O'Sheehy when they came from Ireland, and he wanted O back in his life.
Well, Tiger Williams said that when he came across to the Hartford Whalers and wanted number 0, that they had enough zeros on the hockey club already. They didn't need another one.
Maybe that was his grade point average at Harvard.
He also says it's the furthest thing from number 99.
Neil Sheehy had lots of them this morning, didn't it? Don't think, folks, that we sat and wrote those lines. Neil Sheehy gave us all of them this morning. And he had about 4 more of them as well.
Good character player. Here's Shell Darlene for Guy Carbonneau into the middle for Chelios, and Turgeon tipped the puck. Sylvain Turgeon on with Deneen and Francis. You guys in the hockey pools know only too well that Sly Turgeon hasn't scored a goal in January since December. It's now February. Hasn't scored a goal in 15 games.
Well, he may have a lot of shots, but that's about it.
If he's going to break out, you figure to be in this ring.
He has more points against the Canadiens than any other team. Turgeon over the blue line, pokes the puck to the end boards. That's an offside call. We played 5 minutes and 5 seconds at the Forum in Montreal. No score in this game.
Well, here's Chris Nyland's replacement on that line with Bob Gainey and Guy Carbonneau. We now find Shell Darlene. Now, Darlene is a great passer. He's got exceptional skills, and he's going to give some offense to that line. But the question is, That isn't exactly what Chris Nyland supplied this hockey club with.
Jean Perron says that the problem with Nyland was Nyland's problem in a sense, in that he was taken off the line with Carbonneau and Gainey and put on a line with Strulin and McPhee and felt it was a demotion and had trouble accepting it.
Well, you know, I have no idea, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe Carbonneau complained a little bit about that.
There's a shot stopped by Patrick Roy off the stick of Lindsey Carson, a former Philadelphia Flyer. Here's a 3-on-2 for the Canadiens. After the puck is Richer, steered aside by Ladouceur. Sylvain Cote couldn't get the puck. Naslund has it. Corson working in front. A tip just wide. Richer with Corson still in front of the goal. Corson turns and his shot is blocked by Cote. Outside the line is Michael Lawler with the puck to Rick Green. Corson, Richer, and Naslund up front. There's a long pass intercepted by Dean Evason. Turned over again by the Canadiens, though. Corson to Richer, moving in for Naslund in front, and Liut knocked it away. Richer had a chance to wind up and blast at it. Instead, he tried to flick it in for Naslund. Here's Corson, number 27. Ladouceur is without a stick. Cote takes the man away from the net, but Naslund couldn't get the puck, and he would have been in the open had he got it.
That's a great offensive line for Canadians. You know, that's a scary line when they come out, particularly in the forum.
An icing call against Hartford, and they needed that with the defenseman out there without a stick, and they get caught running around a bit.
Well, they're a good offensive line, provided that Shane Corson is playing up to his abilities. He got benched once last week in the Washington game, and he came back with a very strong game against the New York Islanders. Corson had a great playoffs last year, but this year he has been questionable at times. Corson needs to play the way that he did in playoffs, but you can't live on your past.
But he's a tough kid, too. I mean, he can fight, he can hit, he can do everything. And if they get him going, and I'm sure Perron will, one way or the other, it's going to be a great line.
When he was drafted in '84, Serge Savard said he's a Bob Gainey that can score goals.
Now he's just got to get the goals out of it. Svoboda ahead for Kordic. Kordic playing with Skrudland and Momesso. The shot blocked by Mike Liut, a sharp-angled shot from Kordic. Kordic takes the place of Mike McPhee, who's out of the lineup tonight due to an illness in the family. Here's Skrudland. Nice back pass to Kordic. He shoots, scores!
Not exactly the guy that you would expect to finally break Mike Liut. Brilliant play so far in this game. John Kordic with his first goal of the season. A nice little backhand pass there by Skrudland, and Kordic really teed it up, let it go. A happy man, John Kordic. A nice backhand pass to Skrudland, and here comes the shot. First of all, I thought that possibly Samuelson deflected it, but he didn't. It was straight in. Short side on Mike Liut.
A great round of applause for John Kordic's first of the season. Wonder if they'll start to like him as much as they love Chris Nyland here. Chelios and Skrudland draw assists on the goal by Kordic at 6:44. I've never seen him shoot the puck very much, but that was a pretty good shot.
It was an excellent shot, but Skrudland's backhand pass to a guy like Kordic wasn't exactly out of John Perron's playbook.
John Kordic's last goal was in April of 1987. It's been a long time between goals. Bob Gainey to Chelios. His blast is way wide of the net. 1-0 lead for the Canadiens in the NHL tonight as the Whalers move in. Here's Kevin Dineen. Feeds it in front, intended for Francis. He was hooked by Walter, and the puck goes right into Roy. Kordic from Skrudland and Chelios at 6:44. The Canadiens lead by 1 on this Molson hockey telecast.
First came Gillette's legendary Track 2 Twin Blade. Now there's Track 2 Plus. Advanced lubricants in a unique Luber Smooth strip are released to deliver Track 2's smoothest, most comfortable shave ever. New Track 2 Plus from Gillette, the essence of shaving.
John McEnroe, Jimmy Connors, two of the greatest names in tennis battle live at the Proctor Silex Tennis Classic. There it is, Saturday, February 6th at 8:30 Eastern, and only on TSN.
These teams are 6-4 in their last 10 games. Whalers on the 4th game of a 4-game road trip. They went 0 for Alberta. That's no sin these days, and 1 in Vancouver in the early part of the road trip. Canadiens just back from a 4-game trip. They lost only 1. That was in Washington Friday night. Here's Bobby Smith after the puck. Lemieux's in front. The pass was blocked by Joel Quenneville, number 3 on the defense, as the Canadiens raced out 2-on-1.
Well, Quenneville's a steady defenseman, and as he has gotten older, Joel Quenneville has matured into a pretty good defensive-minded defenseman. Now, we look at Hartford, and you know that with their lineup, they have made some improvements defensively, and in the last couple of weeks, they have been good defensively. However, if they get 4 goals scored against them, they know they're in problems because they can't win a game.
But they've been pretty good defensively all year long. That's one thing that Cat Francis was saying today, that even though their offense has sputtered, at least they've maintained good defensive play. And I think they're 4th overall in defense right now.
Well, I think Mike Liut has an awful lot to do with that, too.
There's a shot. They score. Lemieux. 2-0 Montreal.
Well, the pass right over the corner, but we were just talking about the Hartford Whalers being good defensively. Who's picking up Lemieux? Nobody by the looks of it. You can see McDermott, he was making his way back to the slot, being on the right wing side, but not there in time. Lemieux found the open space. And you know, Perron said today that his hockey club really likes to look for the men in the slot rather than shoot from the outside. That's exactly where that goal came from.
Lemieux's 22nd of the season, a 2-0 lead for the Montreal Canadiens. 8 minutes, the time of the goal, and here they come looking for more. Shane Corson, number 27, centering pass. Richer was tied up in front.
8 minutes.
Bobby Smith draws the only assist on the goal by Lemieux at 8 minutes. Here's Chris Chelios to Shane Corson up front with Naslin and Richer. The pass gets through to Richer, breaking for the goal, scores!
Jim, what was that you and I were saying about a good defensive battle here in this hockey game tonight? Well, it started out that way anyway, folks, but at the same time, the Montreal Canadiens have been applying pressure right from the early going. Mike Liut was great. All of a sudden now, the Canadiens have found some open room, and this one through his legs. Richer, he just breaks to the open, cuts in, and with his strength, he is able to maneuver his way into that middle ice area before dumping that puck easily behind Liut.
That long pass shouldn't have got through, should it?
No way. Should have been cut off way before that.
Number 31 for Richer. Here's Momesso back for more. A deflected shot by Ferrero to the end boards.
Assisted by number 27.
Shane Corson draws an assist on the Richer goal. And so does Chris Chelios. Here's Momesso with a shot. Well, you had to stop that. It's a delayed penalty coming up. It's against the Whalers. Carbonneau breaks his stick on a shot, and Kordic almost got his second. The puck came right to him. Kordic is checked by Robertson. The two tough guys, and they're going to go at it. Robertson and Kordic.
Well, they usually give the fight to the guy that doesn't go down. Robertson goes down first, so you give it to Kordic.
The heavyweights, Robertson and Kordic, will go to the penalty box. Canadiens scored 2 goals 36 seconds apart by Lemieux and Richer to go up 3-0 over the Hartford Whalers with 10:48 to play in the first period. Let's check out the action between St. Louis and Toronto. Here's Jim Van Horn.
Didn't take the Blues long to open the scoring at Maple Leaf Gardens into Toronto. 8 minutes into the game, they're on the power play. Robert Nordmark, bottom of your screen, with a shot that hits Borje Salming. Cliff Ronning is there to put the puck high over the gloved hand of Alan Vester on the power play. Ronning's 4th goal in 8 games for the Blues. Not bad for the former Olympian. Blues lead the Leafs 1-0 at the Gardens.
I'm sure Cliff Ronning is of mixed emotions about being with St. Louis and missing the chance to be with the Olympic team.
Well, he's definitely doing what he does best, and that is being strong offensively. Here's how it all started. Now watch, Kordic has got the puck. Here comes the hit by Robertson. He knew who he was going after, and it didn't take long for both of them to get going. John Kordic, now that Nyland is gone, has got to establish himself. And of course, he always has as the tough guy, but he's also got to establish himself as the real instigator, the guy that replaces Nyland in all capacities. And obviously, Serge Savard and Jean Perron felt that he could do exactly that.
The initial penalty was going to Ulf Samuelsson. 2 minutes for slashing at 9:12, and Kordic and Robertson get 5-minute fighting penalties. So the Canadiens, with a 3-0 lead, go on the power play. But their power play, as you see, is 18th in the league. What a rocket by Richer over top of the net.
But the Hartford Whalers, they excel when it comes to killing off penalties. They are number one.
Best penalty killing unit in the league.
Well, that was an awful shot by Richer. I mean, we're on a power play, and he puts it over the net, and I'm sure the coaches are saying to the wingers, you got to get in front of the net for tips, and when they get one right by their ear, it's no wonder their power play's 18th.
Scares them away for a while, doesn't it?
Kordic's hot. They should get him back on the ice, except he's in the penalty box for 5. Excuse me. 10 minutes to go in the first period.
He could get 10 games for that.
3-0 Montreal. Here's Chelios. He and Richer are the point men in the power play. Chelios shoots a low one, knocked away by Quenneville, right to Dahlin. Or Naslund make that number 26. Dahlin's out there as well, but they'll get a second power play unit on the ice now as Richer and Walter go to the box. Naslund stick handling at the line, flips the puck to a corner. Lemieux's after it. Quenneville gets there first. Lemieux knocked him off the puck. Dahlin to Chelios. His shot. Liut saw it all the way. And Dean Evason clears the puck down the ice with 40 seconds left in the Samuelsson minor penalty. Dean Evason and Stu Gavin up front killing the penalty with Cote and Quenneville, the defenseman. Chelios and Svoboda on the points on the power play as Chelios almost gave it away to Evason. Lemieux and Smith up front. With Shane Corson, who has the puck. Corson on Cote. 8 seconds left in the penalty. Dineen comes out 2-on-2. He's got Evason with him. They crisscross at the line. Dineen didn't mean to leave that behind and put himself offside. Just 2 seconds left in the penalty.
Well, when you look at the scores, the top scores for the Hartford Whalers and the guys that have got to do it for them, of course Ron Francis' name comes up, but so does Dineen's. Now, Dineen is leading this hockey club with goals. He has 18 right now compared to Ronnie Francis's 16. However, they're still off pace, and most of these Hartford Whalers are off pace of their goal-scoring production, at least the scores, from their last year's totals.
You can't win many games when you only score 3 goals a game, because a good goals against average is right around 3. So it stands to reason that if you can only score 3 a game, you won't win a lot. In fact, when they've had 4 goals scored against them this season, the Whalers are 4-16. Here's Neil Sheehy back after the puck. The penalty is over, and that draws an icing call against the Montreal Canadiens.
You know, the Whalers are coming back from a road trip out west, 3 games. A long, tough trip back. They had 3 stops along the way, a Sunday trip from Edmonton to Montreal, and they have to stop in Winnipeg and Ottawa. And, you know, it's no wonder they're coming out flat tonight. You just can't do that, and I don't understand why they would agree to this kind of a game. Montreal, of course, love these Monday night games. They've got 10 of them. They're always fresh Monday night. In fact, for 36 of their 40 home days, Montreal are fresh. Didn't play the night before, and that's by far the best schedule in the league.
8.5 minutes left in the first period here. 3-0. The Canadiens lead Hartford. Shell Dahlin at center with Carbonneau and Gainey. Dahlin stick handling in. Gets by Sheehy. Liut makes the save. Out at center, Dineen races for the puck, and he won't break away because Larry Trader knocked the puck to the corner. Nice play by the seldom used defenseman Larry Trader. Been riding the pines in many nights recently. Samuelsson keeps the puck in. Gainey tries to get it out and can't against Ron Francis. Carbonneau in behind the net. Trader, number 28, former St. Louis Blue, Flips the puck to center. Carbonneau trying to get it away from Sheehy and almost did. Trader's pass is too far for Brian Skrudlin, who now moves in against Sheehy, takes his man down. Skrudlin's the first one up and gets the puck. Momesso and Smith on the ice as well. Smith will double shift with Kordic serving the fighting major. There's an icing call against Hartford.
You know, Larry Trader, as you said, has not received too much ice time. Just made a great play in his own end zone. And that just might get him a little bit more ice time. He's bound to be pretty pleased with the fact that they were up 3-0 early in the game. Otherwise, Jean Perron probably would have only gone with 5 defensemen. Dahlin has really shown his offensive abilities, and that line with Carbonneau, Gainey, and Dahlin have definitely been the hottest line for the Canadiens in the last 4 games.
Made a nice play on Sheehy to get a shot on Mike Liut in his last shift. Canadiens have outshot the Whalers 10-5 early in this game. Here's John Anderson at center for the Whalers. His pass to Lindsey Carson. Came over in a deal that sent Paul Lawless the other way. Ladouceur flips the puck towards the net. Bobby Smith knocks it down. Smith off the glass. Ladouceur couldn't keep it in, but Ferrero is back to center to get it. Sylvain Cote, Whalers' first pick in the '84 draft out of Quebec, is playing on the point. He dumped the puck in. Whalers keep it in. Ferrero feeds the point man Ladouceur. His shot is deflected by Skrudlin off the glass. Cote pinches into the right side and keeps the puck in. Didn't get through to Anderson. Chelios flips it to Momesso. Bobby Smith through center with 6:40 to go in the first period. Smith, back pass to Skrudlin. He dumps the puck to the end boards, and the Canadiens will change on the fly as Momesso pushes Ladouceur, and there's a penalty coming up against the Canadiens, probably against Momesso. Anderson feeds the puck in front. Lawler knocked it down. He came very close to knocking the puck into his own net dangerously. There'll be a penalty to Momesso for roughing, and we'll take a break on this Molson Hockey Telecast.
Coors, one easy-going beer. Easy opening. Brewed so easy, it's easy tasting. Easy drinking. Coors beer. Some folks even call it cold gold.
Sergio Momesso in the penalty box. 2 minutes for roughing was the call. He took a run at Ladouceur deep in the Hartford Whalers end zone. Momesso's trying to play more aggressively, and at the same time, Jean Perron wants him to start producing offensively as well.
I guess the trade could be interpreted as a vote of confidence for Sergio Momesso as well. Nyland moves out. He gets more ice time on the right wing.
Momesso's name had been mentioned quite a bit around the trade talks as well.
Whalers on the power play. They've struggled with a power play as well, as Bob Gainey dumps the puck down the ice. Hartford's power play ranks 16th in the league. Turgeon, Anderson, and Francis lead it with 9 power play goals each. Deneen up front with Francis and Turgeon. Babbage and Samuelson, the point man. Rick Green back in his own zone, lost the puck. Deneen behind the goal to the point. Babbage takes the shot, deflected in front, they score! Francis deflected it, and the Whalers are on the board.
Parked right in the slot. Ron Francis was able to get that stick in proper positioning. And as the pass comes out from the corner, watch. Here comes the shot from the point. Babbage, and a beautiful tip in there by Francis. You can see that he deflected it on his backhand side. Mike Lawler was trying, well, he saw where Francis was, but he was way too far away to do anything about Francis's deflection.
Ron Francis, just his 17th goal of the season, his 10th on the power play. He's the leading scorer on the Whalers with 48 points now. Needless to say, they needed that goal, down 3-0. It's 3-1 Montreal now. Francis from Babbage and Deneen at 14-10. So the Momesso penalty is costly as Mats Naslund moves in. Richer scoots after the puck, goes to his forehand, and Liut makes the save.
I don't know, did he?
The light didn't come on. Yes, indeed, the puck's under, and something hit the back of the net. It looked like the puck might have gone in.
I think that puck was in. And Sylvain Cote was shoveling it out.
Watch this nifty move to his forehand.
What great balance Richer had. Now watch that puck. I think when Liut went back, and you could see right there that Richer was pointing, he had perfect vision as to where that puck was, and he was pointing to the puck that was over the goal line.
He's a little biased, Greener.
Wow. Exactly, but I mean, you could see that he was looking at the puck and pointing to where it was. Of course he's biased, Roger.
I think it bounced off the post.
Didn't go near the post. He was sitting right on the line under his arm.
What was Cote shoveling out afterwards?
Making sure.
Jeez.
Put your glasses back on, Raj. Come on. 5:15 to play in the first period. Here's Stu Gavin. His pass to Samuelson. One timed it wide of the net. Didn't get much on that one. From the point, Sheehy's shot is blocked before it got through to the goal. Wise without a stick in the goal. If the Whalers can keep the pressure on here, they have a goalie out of the net. Now he grabs his stick, and there's a penalty coming up against Montreal. And Carson and Corson are squaring off.
Well, Carson had those dukes up. He was ready.
Wayne Bronny and Mark Vines got between them. 4:59 left in the first. 3-1 Canadiens on this Molson hockey telecast on TSN.
Remember how much fun it was to go out after it snowed. You threw yourself into it with abandon. Your pulse quickened. You were free. If you're ready to feel that way again, you're ready for the new Audi 90 Quattro Sports Sedan. With permanent all-wheel drive, driving is what you hoped it would be when you were a kid. On a sled, in the snow.
Svoboda gets the original penalty for the Montreal Canadiens. That was a delayed call for cross-checking, but Carson and Corson will get penalties as well, and I'm not sure what he'll give them. Probably minors.
Delay a game.
Yeah, probably.
Well, first of all, Svoboda takes that cross-check. Well, he gives the cross-check, I should say, right in front of the net. There's the hand goes up by Terry Gregson, and then shortly after that, Carson and Corson decide that they are going to square off, but they had nothing more than gestures and words.
There's Shane Corson, and Lindsey Carson gets the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Both of them get unsportsmanlike conduct penalties and a cross-checking call on Svoboda. Whalers down 3-1, get another power play. They're 1-for-1 with a man advantage. Here's Sly Turgeon, number 16. Back in the point is Samuelson trying to keep the puck in. He couldn't do it. Carbonneau scoots after the puck. Babbage is back. Nice move by Carbonneau and a shot on goal. Puck is cleared the length of the ice as the Whalers couldn't get possession and carry it in, but now they get the puck right in front. Turgeon's shot doesn't get through. Loose in front of the net. Dineen swatted at it. Carbonneau moved him as the puck was held onto. And Francis comes in to help out his teammate, wants a piece of Carbonneau. Where's Nyland now?
You gotta like Carbonneau. He's kind of an aggravating guy.
Well, one thing for sure, the Montreal Canadiens know how to protect their goaltender. Rick Green did an excellent job of it, as he usually does, in the Island the other night against the New York Islanders especially. You know, 8 years ago tonight, I'll tell you about Rick Green in a second. Watch this play, first of all, develop. Now watch how the Canadiens all of a sudden smother the puck in front. Now count them one more time. They've got 3 guys back in there. Carbonneau, as the center iceman, is coming right back in and helping out. But 8 years ago tonight, in Atlanta, I can remember, Rick Green, that was the night my daughter was born, so I remember that one well. Rick Green came out of that hockey game. He had enough years with the Washington Capitals and all the pressure that he had. He said, look at my nose, coach. He said, it's flat as could be. I've spent the whole night playing against these big Atlanta Flames, and my nose has been up against the plexiglass in my own end zone all night long. But, you know, Rick Green doesn't have to play as much in his own end zone anymore with the Canadiens. He said he served his time well enough during those years in Washington, and he did. He had to play a lot.
A minute and 15 seconds to go in the Montreal penalty. Samuelson carrying the puck up on this Hartford power play. Got it in over the blue line. Here's Babbage with some room. His shot off the stick of Walter, who just got a stick in front of it, deflected it into the stands.
Canadians usually attack the puck carrier penalty killing in the center ice zone. The forwards often fake to come back, but they always go at the puck carrier, and more teams in the NHL are doing that now. They're not just picking up wingers, but they're going after the offense on the rush and making them make another play. And Canadians in Quebec were probably the first two teams to do that, and most teams are following suit now.
Is that what's leading to all the shorthanded goals? Teams breaking records for shorthanded goals? You work aggressively, you're bound to get the puck?
Well, I'm sure that that's part of it.
Some great shots from the points, though, and if you let a guy like Babbage and Samuelson shoot away all night long, you're going to have some problems.
Francis, Dineen, Turgeon up front. Turgeon is the puck carrier, had his pocket picked by Guy Carbonneau. Here's Francis for Turgeon, and got by him, and Rick Green sends the puck to center. Number 44 is Dave Babbage. 3.5 minutes left to go first period. 30 seconds to go in the penalty. After scoring on the first power play, the Whalers have done nothing on this one. Carbonneau, nice move, nice shot, and nice save by Mike Liu. Good period for Carbonneau. Here's Ron Francis moving up for Turgeon, snaps one off the side of the net. Francis now with 15 seconds left in the penalty. Kevin Dineen to Babbage, his shot end over end, blocked, is loose in front. Backhand shot, they score! Turgeon for the Whalers.
Hey, he's breaking out.
First goal since December.
Well, Wall was flat on his back, and you could almost see it coming. Turgeon watches the puck. Now, Waugh gives up the rebound. Rick Green skated over it. Now, all of a sudden, that third man isn't in soon enough to help out. Turgeon just picks up the puck. With Waugh defenseless, he just slides it in, made it look pretty easily. You could see Scrudlin, who at that point in time should have backed into the slot. He saw they were outnumbered, but he hesitated, just waited too long.
17th goal for Sylvain Turgeon.
Hartford of late have not practiced the power play. It's one of those deals. It was going so badly, they just decided not to practice it at all. now it's starting to go.
And it's 2 for 2 tonight, although that was their first chance on the power play that they had. They only need one to score, and they scored with 6 seconds remaining in the penalty. So it's 3-2. Vladisur is over the line offside, and he put one off the post.
That's scientific coaching, though, isn't it, Roger? I mean, things are going bad. Power play's going bad, so you just ignore it, and all of a sudden it makes it all better, right?
What did you used to do, Greener?
Yeah.
Die with it.
You faced a lot of adversity as a coach.
Yeah, I did, Roger, and I think it's good for a hockey club. I think it builds character. I don't care whether that's a fight in practice or players spouting off about the coach. I think now's the time to find out whether or not what your team is made of.
There's an offside call against the Whalers as the puck just slipped out over the blue line.
Wouldn't you rather know now about your hockey club whether or not you need to get rid of a guy like Nyland, or whether or not you need to make a change, or whether or not everything is kosher, than in March or April?
But I don't think you have to come out in the paper and criticize the coach. I mean, Canadians for years have had the best teams, and you never heard of one little bit of dissension. So I don't...
Oh, come on, Roger. Here in Montreal, there's always been dissension in the French papers every day and the Canadian papers. I mean, I shouldn't say always, but there's been a lot.
Here's Kerry Wilson for the Whalers. Centering pass, swept wide of the net. Both Tippett and McDermott were reaching for the puck. Back the other way. 2 Whalers are caught deep as the Canadians come to center. There's Larry Robinson. Drops the puck off for Lemieux. Into the middle. Walter couldn't handle a bouncing puck. Wilson reaches for it and gets it away from Ryan Walter. Bobby Smith with Lemieux and Walter moving in. Lemieux takes a shot high and wide. 3-2 game. The Canadians lead Hartford. On the NHL tonight from the Montreal Forum. Bobby Smith. Checked by Kerry Wilson. Another former Flame came over with Neil Sheehy and the rights to Lane McDonald, an Olympian for America. Shane Churla and Dana Merzen went the other way. Here's Stu Gavin. Off the boards, not out. Robinson in for Smith, all alone. Lost the puck. He lost the handle on it at the side of the net.
So unlike Bobby Smith, too.
Maybe he couldn't believe how much time he had.
It's a great pass by Robinson. He just saw him open, wide open.
The play had stayed over on the left wing boards for so long, and Bobby Smith just found an opening over on the right side. And Larry Robinson found it. 1:20 to play in the first period. Montreal 3 and Hartford 2. Peter Svoboda off the boards to center. Neil Sheehy dumps the puck in, and Dean Evison, number 12, is in after it. Back on the point, here's John Anderson. Shoots a rolling puck wide of the net. And that's the last minute of the first period. Here's Dean Evison. Lindsey Carson's in front. Anderson, the third member of the forward line. Samuelson pinches in, keeps the puck in. Knocked out of the air by Svoboda to Naslund. And he plays the puck off the boards to center. Corson, Richer, and Naslund are the Canadian forwards. Richer to Svoboda, too far for him, and the puck will drift right down in behind Mike Liut. 30 seconds to go in the first period. Jim Van Horn will be speaking with one of the newest Whalers, Kerry Wilson, in our first intermission. Here's Bob Gainey. Turn back at the line with 15 seconds to go in the period. Chelios to Svoboda. Corson to center. 5 seconds to go. Time for a shot. Except Gainey lost the puck. Ferrero ahead for Anderson. It'll drift into the Montreal zone, but a couple of power play goals changed this game right around, and the Whalers are within one after one.
Hey, the Canadiens had this game, or this period, all locked up until all of a sudden some costly penalties gave Hartford the opportunity to get right back in the hockey game.
We'll check in with Paul Romanuk, who's watching the Toronto-St. Louis game, and hear from Kerry Wilson, who will be along with Jim Van Horn in our first intermission when we continue on this Molson Hockey Telecast. Welcome back to the Forum in Montreal. I'm Jim Houston with Gary Green and Roger Nielsen. There's a look at our Wins first period summary. Wins, Canada's premier automotive additive. John Kordick gets his first goal in almost a year, his first of this season. To start Montreal off, they took a 3-0 lead. Skrudland and Chelios assisted on that. Smith set up Lemieux. Then Corson and Chelios set up Richer just 36 seconds later, and it looked like the rout was on. But Francis and Turgeon scored on the power play. Babbage has a pair of assists. Francis is 1-1. Deneen also had an assist on the first Francis goal. And it's 3-2 for the Canadiens as we start the second period. The shots on goal, 14-9. Montreal outshot Hartford. The goaltenders are Mike Liut for the Whalers and Patrick Waugh for the Montreal Canadiens. The referee is Terry Gregson. He called 20 minutes in penalties in the first period. 11 to the Canadiens, 9 to the Whalers.
Greener, surely you don't buy that baloney about the Nyland trade. Like, would you like to go to St. Louis? No. How about Boston? What was the real reason for that trade?
I think he had to trade Nyland because, first of all, he was upset that he wasn't playing with Carbonneau and Gainey any longer, and he didn't like the demotion playing with Skrudland all of a sudden in McPhee, and I don't think that's a demotion. So he's not happy. What are you going to do? Put him back in the line?
Okay, but they traded him to New York, and I think Savard was really smart. He just doesn't want Quebec to get too high a choice for Bergeron.
I think it was a classy move, too, though.
Well, perhaps, but I think it was for smartness, and I think even Sam Pollock had a little grin on his face on that one.
He wants to move the Rangers into the playoffs and knock that Quebec pick down a bit. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly right. I think Sam did that to get Lafleur years ago.
Here's some pushing and shoving in the early seconds of period number 2.
It was Samuelson that was initiating that. And you know, the Whalers catching their wind all of a sudden, getting their legs, getting right back in this hockey game. Maybe a much more aggressive hockey team than the early going of this second period.
Shane Corson, Jean Perron was extremely pleased with the way he bounced back after the benching on Friday night in Washington. He scored a goal, had an assist on Saturday night on Long Island. I guess the message got through.
Well, he's a talented hockey player, and sometimes you need to give players wake-up calls, and Perron felt that it was justified in sitting out Corson. And boy, when he comes back with a game like he played against the Islanders, then you kind of pat yourself on the back as a coach and say, nice job, that was what it needed.
Peter Svoboda ahead to Corson. Couldn't get a hold of it to clear it. Puck is shot into the corner by the Whalers, and Richey's over after it against Neil Sheehy. The Whaler defense is pinching a lot tonight, moving in, trying to keep that puck in. They did a lot in the first period. There's a penalty coming up as Naslund looked like he was hacked down by Dean Evison, and the penalty will be against the Whalers center, Evison, as the goaltender is out for the extra attacker for Montreal on the delayed penalty. Corson races after the puck. Sheehy just wants to touch it and get the whistle. Gavin does. And a high sticking call is being called against Dean Evison. So the Canadiens, with a 3-2 lead, will go to the power play. Let's check in on the Blues and the Maple Leafs from Maple Leaf Gardens. Jim Van Horn, what's up?
Well, boys, the Blues started the second period on the power play against the Maple Leafs, and it didn't take long for them to score. Puck comes back to the point to Rob Ramage. He lets a bullet go that is blocked by Alan Vester, but in the scramble, Mark Hunter is there for the rebound. He knocks it in for his 20th goal of the season, and quickly, early second period play, St. Louis leading Toronto 3-2 at the Gardens.
Dean Evison gets a high sticking penalty, and that's exactly where it happened. Naslund goes down to the ice, and Evison goes to the penalty box. He's been a big disappointment this year. Only 6 goals so far offensively. Last year he had 22. They were expecting a big year from him.
He and the other center, Ray Ferrero, are both down in their totals and both disappointing after really pulling a big share of the load last year.
They've got 5 centers now, too, with Peterson, who's sitting out tonight.
Canadians on the power play. They're second at the game. They're 0 for 1. Richer and Chelios on the point. Smith, Lemieux, and Naslund up front. Naslund back on the point to Chelios. Just holds on. Lemieux trying to screen in front. Fake shot now over to Naslund. Smith high in the slot, and a shot from Chelios who's just wide of the net. Smith goes after it and goes down. Naslund comes up with a puck to Chelios. On the other side to Richer. Smith and Lemieux responsible for setting up the screen in front. Naslund has the puck. Chelios one-times it off the leg of Kerry Wilson wide of the net. And Wilson pokes the puck out to center. A minute and 15 seconds left in the penalty to Dean Evison. A high sticking call at 57 seconds of the second. 3-2 Montreal. Bobby Smith after the puck. Samuelson to Stu Gavin. He gets it by Svoboda and out to center to Lindsey Carson, trying to go around Richer. Richer recovered in time for some mates to get back. Over a minute gone in the penalty. Whalers with the best penalty killing unit in the National Hockey League, and it looks like it here. They'll dump the puck in, change up the penalty killers. Dave Tippett comes on with Joel Quenneville. Stu Gavin stays out there. Richer moves through center. Just over 30 seconds to go in the penalty. Corson and Walter move in with Dahlin as the second power play unit. Svoboda and Richer on the point. Svoboda just stops the puck. Tippett makes a nice play to clear it. 20 seconds to go in the penalty. Canadiens power play has just scored just 6 times in its last 45 opportunities. Here's Richer. Had a chance to go for the net. Didn't. Poked out front, and both Corson and Walter skated too far. 5 seconds to go in the penalty. Here's Stu Gavin over the line after the puck, and it was knocked away by Peter Svoboda. Evison is out of the penalty box. The Whalers back at full strength. Liut stops a long shot. Sylvain Cote, number 21. Ahead for Evison. To Gavin over center. He wants to get off the ice after a long shift. Dumps the puck in. Dineen aggressively in after it. Centered it. Robinson there to clear the puck off the glass to center. Dave Babbage. His pass to Dineen, moving in. Nice move. Shoots it just wide. Kevin Dineen with some nice moves to open himself up and then shot it wide on the short side. 3.5 minutes gone in the second period. 3-2 Montreal on the NHL tonight. Nice to have you with us across the country. On a preview week, a lot of new viewers joining us tonight. This is regular action. There's lots of hockey on TSN. We're glad you could be with us tonight. Here's an offside call against the Montreal Canadiens.
You know, that great move that Dineen made may be a perfect example of the frustration offensively that the Hartford Whalers are suffering. Dineen just makes an excellent move here. He fakes to his left, goes to his right. He's in good scoring position. And then look, you know, he missed the net by a good foot. I just think that the Hartford Whalers have got the guys on their hockey club to be putting the puck in the net on a regular basis, and they are just frustrated that they can't put it in.
They got to be hoping that the goal in the first period by Turgeon sets him off on a streak. He's a guy with 190 shots on goal and just 17 goals. A shooting percentage of 8.5%.
That's what Evan said. They've got the shots, and they're getting the shots. They're just not going in.
Nice pass to Momesso from Skrudlin, and he fires one in over the net. Skrudlin, Kordic, and Momesso on the ice. Chelios after the puck, shoots it with his wrong hand and scores! He's left-handed!
Yeah, he did it!
Unbelievable!
If Gordie Howe's watching, he will like this move, the ambidextrous move. Switch hands, and look at the English on that puck.
I think he got some help on a deflection.
Well, he did, but nevertheless, watch. He's a right-hand shot. He switches to his left hand, and with a curved stick, boy, that's not very easy to do, and Mike Liut just shakes his head in bewilderment.
Went off one of the green defenders. I don't think I've ever seen that. Chelios gets the goal, his 13th of the season.
How do you do that with a hook stick?
Here comes Naslin looking for more. Faked the shot, and then the pass was too hard into the corner. And there's a penalty called against Ulf Samuelsson of the Whalers for slashing. The Whalers are now down 4-2, and the Canadiens are going back to the power play. Chris Chelios gets his 13th goal of the season left-handed, and Montreal leads by 2.
The sounds of Olympic gold. TSN is proud to present daily coverage of the 1988 Winter Olympics, starting February 13th.
Ulf Samuelsson picks up a slashing penalty. Here it is, right there. A good old chop, but watch, Naslin's in all alone, and he fakes and then delivers a hard slap shot pass across to Richer that never connected. Those are the type of plays that Jean Perron would just like to strangle Naslin with. He could have shot.
You got to go for a shot and rebound when you got that good a chance.
Here's Larry Robinson lugging the puck on this Canadian power play. Ryan Walter is in after it. Robinson and Chelios on the points as the puck is shot down the ice. Naslin, Smith, and Walter, the forwards. The Whalers fought back to get to within 1 and then had a deflected goal and a defenseman shooting with his wrong hand put them down by 2. I don't know how disheartening that will be for them. Evanston couldn't clear it. Robinson in the corner to Smith. Walter's in front. So is Robinson. Smith to Naslin. He never wants to shoot. In front to Robinson, and he couldn't deflect it in. Smith fakes the shot to Naslin. Smith went for the front of the net on the give and go, but he was covered. Robinson to Chelios to Smith. Can't shoot it. Evanston clears the puck.
I'll tell you, if I was going to be the doctor right now of the sagging power play for the Canadiens, if they would only shoot the puck, it would help matters out greatly. They don't want to shoot. They just want to pass.
The Whalers did a good job, though. They were in perfect position in that sequence, and I don't think they gave the Canadiens too much opportunity to pass the puck.
But why wouldn't you shoot anyway and hope for a rebound or a tip-in?
30 seconds left in the power play. Robinson is in against Joel Quenneville. The puck will come to Stu Gavin, and he'll have a chance to clear it, and does. 20 seconds to go in the power play. 13:50 to play in the second period. 4-2 Montreal. Peter Svoboda leads the rush. Back pass to Richer. He fed it in front off the skate to Dahlin. Rick Green shoots. Liut the save, and he'll fall on the puck. With 3 seconds to go in the penalty. There's your...
That's right. Rick Green shot from the point. Well, Liut was able to smother it. Not much of a rebound or a tip-in from this, but nevertheless, at least Green took a shot. That's more than the Canadiens have been able to muster up so far on this power play. There's no use having a guy in front and a guy like Richer parked to the side unless you're going to shoot that puck. Lemieux, that's his job in front, is to create havoc and to create a screen on Liu.
But you can't shoot if there's a blocker right in front of you, Greener.
Well, if you keep that shot low, it may well go in off of one of the Hartford Whalers defenseman legs.
Yeah, but if it hits the guy coming out, it's a breakaway.
Penalty's almost over. In fact, it is. Samuelson's back on the ice. Montreal's power play 0 for 3 tonight, but they're still out in front, 4-2.
How'd you and I ever coach together anyway and get along for a year? We didn't. That's why you went to the Leafs, Reggie.
Did you have arguments back at the bench?
No, he never let me be on the bench.
Here's Ron Francis carrying the puck in for Hartford. Tries to feed Turgeon. The pass is too far. Centered by Turgeon and knocked away by Patrick Roy. Whalers keep the puck in. Francis to the inboards. Lawler can't clear it against Turgeon. To Dineen in front. Blocked by Patrick Roy. Another shot goes up the side of the net. Great chances for the Whalers. Turgeon set up Dineen for the best one. Patrick Roy hasn't been that busy tonight, but he was ready for that. The shots are 17-11 in favor of Montreal.
Dineen's played pretty well, and he's worked hard out there. Just hasn't had too much luck.
He works hard just about every night he plays. A trademark of Kevin Dineen. Here's Shell Dahlin. Lost the puck. John Anderson, number 20, out with Torrey Robertson and Ray Ferrero as the forwards. They get the puck over the blue line. Chelios. For Kordic went off the linesman's skate. Kordic couldn't hold on, and Ferrero turns it around. Ray Ferrero dumps the puck in. Robertson and Chelios bump. Robertson gets to the puck first. Chelios pins him to the board. Babbage keeps the puck in for Ferrero. Now Svoboda has a chance to move it out. Sergio Momesso, number 36. To Brian Skrudla, number 39 for the Canadiens. Turned back by Quenville Anderson. Anderson dumps it in with 11.5 minutes to play in the second period. 4-2 Montreal in the NHL tonight on TSN from the Forum. Kordic almost got away from Tippett with the puck.
Too many men. Canadians have got 6 guys out there.
No question about it.
Haven't been
Nobody knows.
Now Wayne Bonney catches him. I saw him pointing and counting. Then he finally blows the whistle. So whose fault was that? And the Whalers will go on the power play. We'll check in with the Blues and the Maple Leafs. Here's Jim Van Horn.
This is the classic way to win a faceoff for the St. Louis Blues in the Toronto zone. 7 minutes into the period, Tony Herkus gets the puck to Gilmore. His shot is stopped, but a big rebound goes to Todd Ewan. He scores to make it a 4-2 ball game at 7:05 of the second period of play. The Blues are not yet finished. Few seconds later, only 28 seconds as a matter of fact, Doug Gilmore is set up by Tim Bothwell. He makes the score 5-2. The Blues well in command of this hockey game so far tonight at the Gardens in Toronto.
8 minutes, 42 seconds.
So the two coaches in the broadcast booth are pretty quiet when there's a too many men on the ice penalty. They don't want to blame anybody.
Count them all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Of course, 6 white sweaters out there. And boy, Roger, they were out there for quite a little while. That was a sneak play.
They were out there for about 15 seconds and nobody saw it.
Well, we saw it. You saw it.
We got a pretty good perch up here.
Somebody went too soon. 2 guys went for 1.
You can scream all you want when you're on the bench in that situation, but all you do is alert the referee and the linesman to your problem.
8:42, the time of the penalty. They usually don't get away with it for as long as the Canadiens did in that sequence. Hartford's power play is 2 for 2. They stopped the play. This brings up this point. Many people in hockey say that these are the toughest benches to change on in the National Hockey League because there's not much room. You can't get in and out of the gates. You have to go over the boards.
There's no question about that. And one year when we were here in the playoffs, I think with the Leafs, we were sure that the benches were different, that they had made our bench over at the visiting bench was too close, and you couldn't get doors open, but we went over and looked at their bench and measured it, and it was exactly the same, but it is a very difficult place to change.
Whalers power play going to work. Francis in for Dineen. Turgeon over on the far side is open. Samuelson to Turgeon. One times it. Patrick Roy got his blocker out and got a piece of it. Dineen against Chelios. Babbage from the point. Fed it in front. And Svoboda sends it down the ice.
Tell you what the worst break used to be was the old Calgary Corral. The benches were so high up that you were afraid for players to jump over because they might break their ankle. Dennis Marouk used to use a parachute. Changing on the go.
Just a minute left in the penalty to Montreal, being served by Larry Trader. Ryan Skrudlin clears the puck for the Canadiens. Their penalty killing's been very good this year, 5th in the league. Guy Carbonneau leads the team with 3 shorthanded goals. At center ice, here's Kerry Wilson. Stopped by Chelios. Now he'll go in the other side. McDermott feeds for Anderson, and Skrudlin saved the day with 30 seconds left in the penalty. 4-2 Montreal. Here's Shane Corson. Can't quite get a handle on it as he reached ahead. Babbage takes him out, so does McDermott. Corson likes this just fine as the seconds tick away in the penalty. 10 seconds to go. It should be the last rush for the Whalers as they dump it in. Remember, they scored with just 6 seconds left in their last power play. Samuelson has the puck, takes the shot. Almost deflected in front, and a nice glove save by Patrick Roy.
A little too high, that shot.
He's got to get it down, but Samuelson turned out to be an excellent defenseman in the NHL. Here's the big windup, and it wasn't deflected either. Corson had his stick out there, but that shot was just labeled high. Samuelson's name comes up every single time an NHL general manager talks to Emil Francis about a possible trade. All Samuelson has turned out to be a good one.
Just 23 years old. Many people think he should have been on the All-Star team this year, but there wasn't much room for defensemen. There's a couple of others in this game that could have gone as well, in Chelios and Svoboda.
Well, poor Mike Keenan. Every team thinks that he snubbed them, and for the next month, every team's up to beat the Flyers.
You can't win in that situation, can you?
That's right.
Penalty is over. The Canadiens are back at full strength and trying to come out of their own zone. Rick Green off the boards, can't clear the puck. Carbonneau follows up, controls the bouncing puck. 9 minutes to go in the second period of the NHL tonight. It's the Canadiens 4 and the Whalers 2. Ryan Walter with a pass for Lemieux in the air and too hard. It bounces to the front of the net. Like a racquetball shot. You get a second chance if you miss the first one. Dineen for Turgeon in front. Shoots it. It hit Patrick Roy.
I don't think Roy saw it either.
Wasn't a great shot. He had to hurry it after he knocked the rolling puck down. Lemieux coming out with Bobby Smith and Ryan Walter. Claude Lemieux has scored 1 goal in this game. Tried to feed Walter. Dineen was back. Now he tries to draw a penalty. Terry Gregson won't go for it. Bobby Smith. Lemieux is open on his off wing. Shoots it. And Mike Liud stops it. Dineen is down at center. At the blue line. He gets up looking for Bobby Smith.
You see him grinding his teeth?
Yeah.
I think they were down about a good half an inch after he was grinding them away. He wanted Bobby Smith.
8:08 to play in the second period here. It's the Canadiens 4 and the Whalers 2 on this Molson hockey telecast from the Forum.
You'll be smiling.
I'm all set.
You'll be laughing.
That looks great.
Bring back those memories that we share. Hey, you're looking good. Any way you look at it. Flax is photography. At Flax we guarantee problem-free photography. Any way you look at it. Flax is photography. Flax is photography. Guaranteed.
Bobby Smith picks up a slashing penalty on Dineen. Watch, first of all, Ryan Walter and Dineen. Dineen was the first guy back there. He was a little frustrated. He thought Ryan Walter was giving him the once over. And then he gets up, continuing his intense roll. Then Bobby Smith runs into him, gives him a little bit of a slash, and Dineen was just having a rough shift. You know, he gave so much effort on that shift, and yet was running into some difficulties.
And yet the effort may have saved the goal in checking Walter and draws a penalty on Bobby Smith.
Yep.
Good shift for Kevin Dineen. Whalers right back on the power play. 2 for 3 tonight. First power play unit was on the ice when the penalty was called. So Anderson, Wilson, and McDermott come out on the second unit with Babbage and Samuelson. Anderson's all over the linesman about the false start in the faceoff. I don't know what they called it back for, but Anderson seems steamed about something or is trying to make a point. Whalers with possession. Skrudlin and Corson, Svoboda and Chelios, the penalty killers. Samuelson hammers the puck in. Wilson and Anderson go in the right wing after it. Anderson will get to the puck to McDermott behind the net. Back of the point for Samuelson. Bad back pass right onto the stick of Skrudlin, and he almost sent Corson away.
What an awful pass that was.
That was one of the dumber passes of the evening.
But there have been a few back passes tonight.
Some of them were quick. One works, Skrudlin to Kordic. One of the most unlikely ones to work.
They're pretty when they work, but boy, they're ugly when they don't.
Boy, are they ever. And coaches usually hate them. I mean, unless you got a couple of good offensive guys that really know how to use. Curry, Gretzky are a pretty good example. They know how to use it, but not Skrudlin and Kordic. But tonight it worked, so you can't say anything.
Less than a minute to go in the penalty. Bobby Smith and the Whalers go in offside. They haven't been able to establish control in the Montreal zone yet on this power play.
You know, we mentioned those drop passes. The only problem with the Skrudlin-Kordic drop pass like they scored tonight is that they'll try it a few more times. And a coach like Tex Evans or Jean Perron would be happy to get a goal like that. However, they would be thinking to themselves, boy, they'll try that again, and next time we'll get burned.
There's Chris Chelios, who probably should go back to a straight stick if he's going to switch and take slap shots from both sides.
He was just trying to decide there which way he's going to shoot on the next shift.
Yeah. Coach, you want to play right or left side this time?
You got a good look at that hook in his stick, and that's a little difficult to be switching on the go.
Another offside call against the Whalers with 41 seconds left in the penalty to Bobby Smith.
Actually, his shot was a real changeup. I mean,
it hit somebody too.
Greener, you could have stopped that one, but it hit somebody and tipped right in.
The point is, he kept it in and got a shot away.
That's right. It was a great play.
Whalers down by 2. Svoboda goes back to Gainey. All alone, he takes a shot, hits the net with this one.
What are you laughing about, Roger? You taught him how to score.
Here's Francis for Deneen, deflected away by Chelios. Last 20 seconds of this penalty. Cote at the side of the net for Turgeon. The pass was just off his stick. Here's Ron Francis trying to get control against Guy Carbonneau. Svoboda and Turgeon in there as well. 5 seconds left in the penalty. Svoboda comes up with a puck, can't clear it. Babbage feeds it across the ice to Turgeon. The penalty is over. Cote from the point. His shot is blocked. They luckily get it back. Turgeon moves into the slot, trying to pass, and then a shot and got needed. Chelios after the puck to Gainey. Carbonneau couldn't handle the pass, and Turgeon turns it around, moves in and shoots off the side of the net. From the line, Randy Ladouceur can't keep the puck in against Richer, but Evison bails him out. 5:40 to play second period. Canadiens 4, Hartford 2. Whalers dump the puck in. Robinson dumps it out. Sheehy with Naslund in hot pursuit. Corson follows up to Richer. Here's Richer in front. Great save by Mike Liu. Lawler from the point. For Richer, too far. Whalers bungled an opportunity to clear the puck, and it almost cost them, but Mike Liu made a great save on Naslund. Here's Lindsey Carson trying to break for the net. Hooked by Lawler, and there'll be a penalty against the Montreal Canadiens. Goaltender's out for the extra attacker. Gavin has the puck. Runs into the referee. Lawler gets the puck. And Lawler will also get the penalty. A hooking call as Lindsey Carson was trying to break for the net, and the Whalers go back on the power play. Montreal 4 and Hartford 2 with 4:55 left in the second period. We'll be back in a moment on this Molson Hockey Telecast.
Nothing goes down as fast as a Canadian. Molson Canadian, proud sponsor of the men's national ski teams.
Well, not long after the Canadiens had an excellent opportunity to score, Mike Lawler takes a hooking penalty. There it is. Lindsey Carson goes down, hooked by Lawler, and Lawler goes to the penalty box. The Hartford Whalers one more time will get an opportunity on this power play. Lots of time to practice it tonight.
It's their third consecutive power play. They're now 2 for 4. After going 2 for 2 on their first couple. Babbage to Anderson. He can't control the puck at the blue line. Shot back down the ice. Mike Liu made a great save on Mats Naslund, didn't he, on the pass from Richer?
Naslund shot that time, and boy, it was labeled.
Kerry Wilson with John Anderson moving in with Ray Ferraro, Samuelson and Babbage on the power play. Guy Carbonneau sends it the other way.
I think Hartford maybe should start practicing the power play again.
4 minutes left in the second period. 4-2 Montreal as Babbage dumps the puck in. Love gives it right to Kevin Dineen. Ron Francis to Babbage. Takes the screen shot. Waugh made the save. Francis trying to get the puck back to Babbage and does. Lost control of it but keeps the play onside. Francis gets away from Gainey but not from Chelios. Kicked along the boards to Babbage. Working in front is Turgeon. Samuelson to Babbage. They won't give the point shot now. Here's Dineen. To Babbage. Shoots it. Wow, the save. And the rebound is cleared, not out. From the point, another save. They score. McDermott on a rebound. Or make that Turgeon. On a rebound after Waugh made a couple of saves.
There's the shot from the point. I think it was Ferraro, wasn't it?
26, not 16.
Parked just to the left of Patrick Waugh was Ferraro. Here comes the shot from the point. Babbage lets it go. He doesn't even take time to set it up. Francis tried to take a stab at it. Here comes the shot again. Now Samuelson this time shoots. Another rebound comes up. This time Ferraro parks right in the corner. Robinson had Francis, but no one, of course, had Ferraro. He was able to put it home. It was a shooting gallery down there, but the thing was, Waugh kept giving up rebounds.
13th of the season for Ray Ferraro. And a one-goal hockey game once again. Montreal 4 and Hartford 3. Cote gets the assist at 16:38. A power play goal, the third power play goal of the night for the Whalers. Every goal they've scored has been with a man advantage. This from a struggling power play.
Well, if Tex Evans wants an example of how you score in the power play, then just say the word shoot. And boy, the Whalers sure did that. With that span of about 20 seconds, they were firing away.
They used the Calgary power play, the two defensemen very close to each other. I wonder if Wilson and Shee have been taking over the power play. And that's the play they use, and it's a good one where you draw the two men out to you and then put it in front.
Ron looked a little disgusted there as he made the signal for Naslund and his line to come on out onto the ice. Ron has seen his team go ahead, get a little bit of a lead, and then give it up. Nyland's sweater in the stands. It'll take a while before they forget Chris Nyland. Nyland said he's not going to burn any bridges. Who knows? He may end up back here. He said maybe as the general manager. He wanted to be the mayor of Boston at one point in time. Now he wants to come back and be the general manager of the Canadiens. I'm sure Serge Savard will be glad to hear that.
But can you imagine how much they're going to love him in the Garden? I mean, they loved Big Nick. And think what they're going to do with Big Chris.
Rangers are a lot tougher team than they started the season as. Joe Patterson there now. Chris Nyland.
Nyland's able to spear a few guys on his own team in the dressing room if they don't put out.
Here's Naslund with the Canadiens leading 4-3 in the NHL tonight from Montreal. The late stages of the second period. 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go. Hartford goal on the power play. Ferrero from Cote at 16:38. Whalers dump the puck in. Tippett's after. Checked by Svoboda behind the net. Wilson trying to stuff it in, and Patrick Waugh gets a hold of it. As McDermott and Wilson created a chance. And now a gathering of the clan in the crease. I don't think anything will come of this, so we'll check in on the St. Louis Blues and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Here's Jim Van Horn.
They have been gathering in the St. Louis Blues zone since they scored 3 goals. The Leafs coming back with a couple of their own. First of all, a scramble in front of Rick Wamsley. Ted Foss gets the shot just out of range. It finally goes in off a Blues defender. That makes the score 5-3. Toronto trailing by 2, and then just a couple of minutes later, they get one more to make it even close. It's a strange one for the Leafs. Lehman with the shot off the glass right out in front to Wendell Clark. He's there opportunistically with his 11th of the season. Makes it 5-4. Blues leading Toronto late second period of play.
Well, the Whalers have got the momentum going for them right now. Now watch the wraparound. Now the point is here is that we've talked so much about the defensive effort in front of Waugh tonight, but nobody's playing very aggressively. They're standing around. The Canadiens aren't doing it.
Here's Guy Carbonneau coming out with Gainey and Dahlin. Rick Green at the blue line. Got the puck by Francis. Francis is out with Dineen and Turgeon. Dahlin. Drop pass for Gainey. Takes the shot. He was actually trying to feed that in front for Carbonneau. Carbonneau was covered by Sheehy. Liu was hurt. They stopped the play. He had Sheehy and Carbonneau come right in on top of him as Gainey moved the puck in front.
I wonder whether or not he was cut. He was making reference just to the top of his pad. You see when he went down, he had Carbonneau and Sheehy right to his left, kind of knocked him off balance. It was his right leg somehow just below the top of his pad.
Obviously not too serious.
Well, Naslund was taken into the net, and I think the slight collision there. But one thing that Tex Evans should be telling his team now in the last minute of this period is don't take a penalty. Because I think Terry Gregson would just love to even things up right now with Hartford having 3 power play goals.
I think that was a Liu stall right now, just to give his team a little bit of a breather in an important last minute.
Could have been.
With the big line on the ice, Turgeon wound up to take a shot and had the puck poked away by Robinson. Last minute of play in the second period. Kevin Dineen, Teron Francis feeds it back in front. Dahlin is there to sweep the puck away. Guy Carbonneau at center, leading a 3-on-2 rush. A deflected pass, and Dahlin chases after it. He'll have no part of beating Sheehy to the puck. Gainey trying to center. Liu knocked the puck away. Green to Dahlin. Gainey back to the point. Robinson's shot hit Gainey, and Dineen will come out on the right side. Green racing back to try and cut him off. Robinson's already there. There's a pass for Carson, just didn't quite connect with 20 seconds to go in the period. Here's Dineen all over the ice again, and he runs over Carbonneau, and now Dineen will get a penalty. Carbonneau pushes him. Dineen's willing, but the linesmen are there.
Well, Dineen has been full of vinegar tonight. I'll tell you, he is itching to go at every opportunity. Intensity just oozing out of his ears. He takes the body here on Carbonneau. Takes a little bit more than the body. I think he gets that right forearm right to Carbonneau.
It was a bad penalty. 20 seconds, 17 seconds to go in the period, and Hartford back in the game, and now they got to play the first 2 minutes shorthanded. Let Canadiens score now, so that isn't the time to be throwing elbows and settling old scores.
Elbowing call against Dineen in 1943. And the Canadiens go to a power play late in the second period with a 4-3 lead.
What you don't like about this, even if the Canadiens don't score, it gives them the opportunity to start the third period with lots of momentum, the upper hand, and Hartford's got to defend. In a period they would otherwise, coming out down 4-3, might come charging out of the gate.
Dineen also gets a roughing penalty, gets the double minor, and Carbonneau takes a roughing minor as well. And the Whalers are one man short. Ray Ferraro over to serve the minor penalty, the extra minor against Dineen with 10 seconds to go in the period. Puck is dumped in by the Canadiens. Lemieux trying to go after it. Centering pass from Bobby Smith, taken away by Samuelson. And the second period ends, and it's a one-goal game. The Canadiens lead the Whalers, and the Whalers' power play has kept them in it.
You know, a few weeks ago, Jean Perron was pretty upset with his hockey club because he felt they were blowing leads in a hockey game, or if not losing the game as a result of it, coming too close for his comfort. They have kind of done the same thing in the first two periods tonight.
Chris Chelios and Ray Ferraro exchanged goals in the second period. The score is Montreal 4 and the Hartford Whalers 3. We'll check in on the Blues and the Leafs again in our second intermission that's coming up. Welcome back to the Forum in Montreal for the third period of this Adams Division battle between the Canadiens and the Whalers. There's our win second period summary. Wins Canada's premier automotive additive. Chelios scored as he switched hands and shot left-handed. An unassisted goal deflected in by a defenseman for Hartford at 4:14. And the Oilers scored their third power play goal of the night. They've now given the assist on Ferrero's 13th to Samuelson, who now has assists in 7 consecutive games. The shots on goal in the second period were 9-6 in favor of Hartford. They're 20-18 in favor of Montreal. Overall, the goaltenders are Mike Liut and Patrick Roy. And the referee is Terry Gregson, who's had a relatively tame game to call tonight. 36 minutes in penalties, 19 to Montreal and 17 to Hartford. Well, men, in the first intermission, and when we came back, we were talking about the trade of Chris Nyland to New York. What about this trade that the Whalers made 14 games ago? Kerry Wilson and Neil Sheehy coming over for Calgary, giving up another first-round draft pick and Dana Merzen. What do you think of the deal?
Well, I know that Jack Evans felt, and Emil Francis, that big center icemen are hard to come by, and they got one in Kerry Wilson. On the other hand, I think this hockey club needs some character. And in getting Neil Sheehy, I think they got a quality defenseman that has got lots of character.
Well, Emil, certainly, there was no gamble on Hartford's part. They knew what they were getting, 2 pretty good players. A little bit of a gamble on Fletcher's part. He's getting Dana Merzen, a player who's never really been in shape. They say he's lacked drive. But I know Calgary figured that with Merzen coming home and the fact that they're going to work him like a dog all summer, that he's going to turn into a great player, and it could be a good trade for both teams.
Time will tell.
The third period is underway here, and Kevin Dineen is in the penalty box, so the Whalers are shorthanded. Dineen was penalized at 19:43 of the second period for elbowing. So the Canadiens are on a power play. They're 0 for 3. This is their 4th power play of the night. Stéphane Richer reached for a pass and couldn't get it. Here's Bobby Smith to Richer on the point. Didn't shoot. Now to Chelios. He can't control the puck. Now he gets a hold of it outside the 4-man box. Lemieux is the player in front of the net. Haslund moves into the slot. Bobby Smith to Chelios. Screen shot blocked by Quenneville. Quenneville trying to get the puck and can't. He gave it back to Naslund. 40 seconds left in the penalty. Chelios from the point. Shoots wide of the net. Richer in behind the goal it goes. Bobby Smith out front. Naslund shot and Liut blocked it. Anticipated the play well and just stood up. Nowhere for Naslund to put it.
Liut looked so shaky early in the game. He's back in his crease, and now all of a sudden he's got his confidence, and he's playing very well.
Team was a little shaky in front of him in the first period as well. Took him a while to get their legs. 10 seconds left in the Dineen minor penalty. Montreal 4 and Hartford 3. Here's Corson through center. Can't control the puck. Whalers send it back the other way. Dineen will stay in the box with Carbonneau to serve their roughing minors. Ray Ferraro was serving the minor penalty for elbowing, and he's back on the ice now. The Whalers The best penalty killing unit in the league has been perfect tonight. Montreal's 0 for 4 on the power play. Randy Ladouceur, former Red Wing, back in behind his goal. On defense with Sylvain Cote. Cote ahead for John Anderson. Gets it through indirectly to Robertson. Moving in. His shot is blocked by Patrick Roy. Ferrero was there on the 2-on-1. And Torrey decided to shoot it. Here's Cote moving in. Robertson going for the net. Cote centering pass went off Robinson. Robertson out front. Turning his Cote and he's shot it wide. Loose puck in front is knocked away by Gainey. Sylvain Cote keeps the puck in for Torrey Robertson. He can't center it. Darlene moves the puck out to center to Skrudland. Cote off the boards for Anderson. The play was broken up by Robinson. Here's Torrey Robertson, who's had a good shift, moving in again with John Anderson. Robertson to Kerry Wilson, knocked away by Rick Green. 3 minutes gone, third period at the Forum. Montreal 4 and Hartford 3. Neil Sheehy, a lead pass and a breakaway for Tippett. Blocked by Patrick Roy, and then just out of the outstretched stick of Paul McDermott, who was there. Good pass. But here's Kordic moving in alone. He shoots. Liut the save, and he holds on to the puck as he juggled it. Great chances at both ends. Good goaltending.
Hey, Kordic has got a good shot, and he really let that one go, of course, under Jean Perron's orders. You want to play more, son? You're going to shoot that puck more. Hartford had an excellent opportunity. Now watch this breakaway pass straight up the middle. Couldn't have been better. Tippett tries to go to his backhand, but here's the best opportunity of all. Kordic moving in from the right wing side, perfect positioning, wound up and just let her go. I mean, he can blast it. I don't know that Kordic was exactly looking to pick the holes out there. I think he was trying to put it through Mike Liut more than anything.
Head down and blast it.
Yeah.
Here's Chelios with a shot wide of the net. Stu Gavin after the puck, and he clears it. Chelios moving back in, dumps the puck in. Momesso, Smith, and Naslin on the ice now for Montreal. Chelios to center. Quenneville knocks the puck back to Carson. Carson, Evison, and Gavin, the forwards on the ice for the Whalers. Babbage moves up on the defense and dumps the puck in. Waugh will hold on with Lindsey Carson right there. 16:06 to play in the third period from the Forum. The Canadiens lead by 1 on this Molson Hockey telecast on TSN.
From the NFL, the NHL, to the 1988 Winter Olympics. With TSN, now you've got it all.
Canadiens had opened up a 3-0 lead in this game. They were up 3-2 after 1, 4-3 after 2, and that's the way it stands in the third period. Whalers win the draw. Quenneville with a shot tipped in front, just wide of the net by Lindsey Carson, who stays in front of the goal, but Evison couldn't get him the puck back. Svoboda at center to Mats Naslin, trying to go through a hole. Gets the puck to Svoboda, who's checked by Gavin. Naslin to Momesso. Off the boards for Bobby Smith, broken up by Joel Quenneville. Now Chelios for the Canadiens, flips the puck back in. Dave Babbage for Stu Gavin, and he'll dump the puck in. Whalers changing on the fly. Mats Naslin on his off wing, playing the right side with Bobby Smith and Sergio Momesso. Now he's going off on a line change as Dineen dumps the puck in. Dineen, Francis, and Turgeon out for the Whalers. Sylvain Cote back after the puck. Kordic, Lemieux, Richer, and Chelios have scored for Montreal. Turgeon with a pair and Francis for the Whalers. And Hartford's called for icing.
I don't want to beleaguer the point, but getting back to the adversity thing. Now, Roger, do you think, I know I don't like being criticized, and I didn't as a coach either, but don't you think that criticism, whether it's players to coach, coach to players, something like that is good for a team at this point in time in the season?
I know. I always figured you're best to have a miserable trainer, and then all the players hate the trainer, and then it's better him than you.
Well, you know, you got to the Stanley Cup Finals with some adversity. You used the referee in your towel waving incident, but it definitely sparked your hockey club and got them going. Didn't it?
Yeah, it
Cost him a pile of dough, too.
He never paid it.
I think that was a $10,000 fine, but it never quite came up.
Randy Ladouceur carries the puck through center for the Whalers. Francis goes for the net. Ladouceur tries to stuff it in and almost did.
How did he get that much room to go all the way up the ice and then almost stuff it?
Wasn't brushed, was he?
Not much hitting in this game tonight. Guys aren't really taking the body out there at all.
Here's Bob Gainey to Guy Carbonneau. High in the slot, tried to leave the puck for Dahlin. Now he gets it to Robinson. Dahlin turn and Cote knocks the puck away. Out at center. Naslin tipped the puck right to Francis. Moving in with Denis on Francis. Checked by Robinson. Naslin turns in the corner. Robinson's pass is behind Richer and goes the length of the ice. Liut will play it with Richer coming in first. Samuelson to Gavin. Moving in with Evison and Carson right in front. Waugh made the save on Lindsey Carson. Good play by the Whalers. Almost tied it up. They're down 4-3. Evison out in front for Gavin. The pass doesn't get through. Gavin bumps Chelios. Bearing pass doesn't get out. Here's Gavin with Carson in front. Gavin holds on and then tried to pass, and it was blocked by Svoboda. Gavin again. Good work behind the net. Trying to center. Carson. Evison's alone in front. Carson centering pass knocked away by Svoboda. Whalers are all over Montreal. Finally, Chelios carries the puck out. Chelios with Richer rushing up with him. Richer with Lemieux in front. Can't get the pass in front of the goal. 13 minutes to go in the third period. Montreal 4, Hartford 3. Lemieux turns and swats the puck. Samuelson knocked it down and pushes the puck ahead for Stu Gavin. He's at the end of a long shift and will go to the bench on a line change as he dumps the puck in. Rick Green gets around Dave Tippett at center. Loses the puck over the line, but gave Quenneville a pretty good shot. Here's Smith with Naslin in front to Robinson. Bobby Smith. Sharp angled shot off the boards. Green from the left point keeps it in. Smith trying to put it out front. And it goes to Kerry Wilson. Wilson at center for Tippett with McDermott moving in over the line. McDermott gets his stick loose. Wilson's alone in front. The pass, and he just missed it. Wilson had a great chance to tie it on a pass from Dave Tippett. Here's a 2-on-1. Bobby Smith with Walter. Smith to Walter, scores!
Nice give and go. Excellent passing. Bobby Smith, he's got his head up all the way. He fakes the shot, walks around, and then just feeds it over to Ryan Walter. You see Walter? Walter, who was a left-hand shot, was coming down the right wing side, so he timed it perfectly. You can't create a goal like this unless your timing is perfect. Walters and Smith was. Walter picks up the pass right at the last second and just hammered it home before Liut could move to his left.
Just when you thought Hartford was going to tie this up and was carrying the play, the Canadiens take a 2-goal lead. Ryan Walters, 10th of the season. Mamisso and Smith draw assists on Walters' goal at 7:56, and it's 5-3 Canadiens. But the Whalers are back in with the puck. Torrey Robertson trying to shake a check, or a pair of them. Gets the puck to Anderson right in front. Ladouceur moves in from the point, has the puck in the corner. Anderson's out front. Pass for Robertson. He tries to shovel it out front. Ray Ferrero checked by Svoboda. Cote moves in. Trying to keep that puck in and does. In front, tipped by Ferrero off the glass. Now Cordick pushes the puck ahead. Naslund speeds after it. Cote is back. Naslund holds on to Skrulin. Nice play by Sylvain Turgeon, who intercepted that pass in front of the goal. Turgeon to Anderson. Back for Turgeon. All alone. Waugh makes the save. And he didn't know he had a hold of the puck. Turgeon made a great dive. Sprawled just to get the shot away.
Did he ever? And then on his knees. Great move by Turgeon.
Solid action. 11:04 to play in the third period. The Canadiens lead the Oilers 5-3 on this Molson hockey telecast.
Witness the dawn of a new dynasty. Introducing the 1988 Chrysler Dynasty, a celebration of style and value in an all-new family sedan, featuring 6-passenger comfort, advanced front-wheel drive technology, available V6 power and anti-lock brakes, 7/115 protection, and a price that makes it all possible. The all-new Chrysler Dynasty, within reach, without equal.
Turgeon's flying right now, and the Canadiens, Perron's got to be frustrated. You get a lead, and all of a sudden you let Hartford right back in the game. They've got the momentum. Turgeon on his knees looking for that rebound. Ferraro went right to the post again with a little bit of help.
Whalers have the puck off the draw. Turgeon's shot is just wide on the pass from Sheehy. Another chance he scores, but the play is washed out. The goal is obviously off its magnet. The whistle may have gone, but amidst the noise, it was impossible to hear.
Well, I think they may be arguing that Larry Robinson pushed the net off of its post. Hartford right now really taking it all of a sudden to the Montreal Canadiens. The Canadiens, once they scored that 5th goal, they just let up. They're not hitting. They're standing back and just allowing the Hartford Whalers to come at them. And Perron is seeing it happen all over again. Watch this play. Now, Waugh is trying to get back into his net. It's lucky that that was wide. No, it wasn't Robinson. It was Ronnie Francis that took the net off of its moorings. And by that time, the whistle had already blown.
Whalers have held a 7-3 margin in shots in the third period, but Montreal has the only goal. Ryan Walter at 7:56 to make it 5-3. Turgeon, Ferrero, and Francis have scored tonight for Hartford. Here's Rick Green, number 5, gets around Francis in over the line with Darlene trailing. Green shovels the puck in front, and it's knocked right back to the corner. Darlene, Carbonneau is out front. Gainey playing back with Green in deep. Green back to Gainey. Weak shot, and Liut kicks the puck to the corner. Now Deneen gets the puck out to center. Tried to get away in a 2-on-1, but it was turned back. Carbonneau with a shot. Sheehy blocked it. Carbonneau broke his stick on the play. Less than 10 minutes to play, third period. Here's Turgeon trying to split the defense, and he lost the puck. Shane Corson picks up the puck. The Whalers are changing on the fly as Corson moves up with Naslund and Richer. Naslund tried to feed Robinson, but was held up by Joel Quenneville. Quenneville, number 3, back in his own zone. Dave Babbage. Richer on top of him, and Babbage dumps the puck in and retreats. Here's Bobby Smith moving up with Richer and Naslund. Smith gets around Quenneville, tried to set up Naslund, and Liut holds on. Bobby Smith made a pretty play. Well, immediately following this hockey telecast tonight, Pat Marsden comes along. And it's your call with Pat's guest tonight, Steve Podborski. Talk about the Crazy Canucks, the new Crazy Canucks, the downhill team on its way to the Calgary Olympics. Steve Podborski with Pat Marsden, and they'll accept your calls collect after this game.
Neil Sheehy, who we said has added some character to this Hartford Whalers hockey club, You know, this number 0 has really thrown the NHL off. Apparently in the NHL computers in head office, Neil Sheehy, 0 means -2. So every single game, Neil Sheehy starts off the game -2. Not exactly a number that has been too popular in the NHL over the years.
9:16 to go in the third.
Told you that plus and minus was no good.
Yeah, sure you did, Raj.
Lemieux is crunched on the boards. Momesso to Lemieux. Out front is Skrudland, and the pass is just by him. Here's Stu Gavin at center. Skrudland checking him from behind. Chelios to Svoboda. Kerry Wilson into forecheck. Off the boards. Skrudland couldn't get the puck out, but Lemieux does. Now has to turn around to take the pass, and he can't hold on. Kerry Wilson out with McDermott and Lindsey Carson on the left wing. Carson going in, side to center. Waugh knocked the puck away. Ladouceur moves in, keeps the puck in. Kerry Wilson, no one to pass to. Tried to get it through to McDermott coming off the board. Then it didn't get through. Back the other way. Here's Momesso. With Skrudland. There's a back pass that didn't look as good as the one Kordic scored on in the first, and the Oilers turn it around. Tippett with McDermott. Dave Tippett feeds the front of the net. Too far for McDermott. Claude Lemieux to Brian Skrudland. A pass off a skate at center. Moving in is Kerry Wilson. McDermott takes the shot over top of the net. Kerry Wilson to the point. Neil Sheehy shoots into a crowd. They score! Did Dave Tippett in front?
Took the words out of my mouth. Did Tippett tip it? We'll find out. Sheehy shot the puck from the point. Again, those shots from the point create an awful lot of opportunities. It definitely changed direction, and it definitely was number 15, Tippett, that deflected that puck. Sheehy with the shot, and Tippett not covered in front. Just deflected that one right by Waugh.
You know, Canadians are kind of panicky tonight in this third period. They're not, usually they play very well with the lead. And, you know, over the years, they've been such a great defensive club, and you kind of expect it. You don't expect them to be running around like this in what was a 5-3 game.
They were rushing. I mean, they weren't trying to defend the lead at all. And they didn't play with a great deal of intensity, nor are they right now.
It's a one-goal game as the Whalers keep battling back. They're down 5-4. Tippett's 10th. Sheehy and Wilson draw the assist at 11:58. That's Neil Sheehy's first point as a Whaler.
58 seconds.
Maybe he'll get a real number now.
Sheehy to center. Checked by Geeney. Carbonneau back as well. Whalers now hold the edge in shots on goal in the game, 27-25. Geeney dumps the puck in and heads for the bench on a Montreal line change. Out of his own zone comes Ulf Samuelsson. Turgeon dumps the puck in. Ferrero is there after it. Waugh couldn't stop it back of the net. Ferrero waiting for mates to get off the bench and join him. The Whalers were on a line change. There was no one for him to pass the puck to out of the corner. Walter takes the puck to Naslund in over the blue line for Montreal. Back on the point, Svoboda. Open side, Chelios shoots. Blocked by Lindsey Carson. Now Bobby Smith goes after it and can't get the puck. 6.5 minutes to go in the third. Montreal by 1, 5-4. Dean Evason, number 12, moves up. Svoboda broke up the play. Smith gets the puck. Babbage pinching in and forces Smith to shoot the puck to center. Andy Ladouceur to Robertson, and he dumps the puck in. Whalers controlling the play, getting the best chances. Ladouceur takes the shot. That one was tipped wide of the net. Sylvain Cote kept the puck in. Walter tried to clear it. Now Bobby Smith does get it out at center, and it's dumped right back in. But there's a delayed offside called against the Whalers with 5:54 to go in the third.
You know, I don't want to make this the Neil Sheehy show, but we haven't told the viewers out there why he's wearing number 0. I mean, we've had all the jokes out there tonight, but there's a reason why he's wearing number 0. It all started back in Moncton when the trainer for the Moncton team in the American Hockey League asked him, came in with his sweater and said, "How'd you like to wear this one?" He thought that was a great idea, and Terry Crisp, who was the coach, came in and was just exuberant about the fact that he was going to wear number 0. He said, "You're my kind of guy. I really like it. Wearing number 0. Way to go, Neil, baby." So he thought he'd try it again.
Besides that, his former numbers 5 that he wore in Calgary and 15 that he wore with the Hartford Crimson were already taken. Here's a puck shot into the Montreal bench. So what did you think of the addition to the Canadian Olympic team in Jim Poplinski today? Tim Waters, of course, and Steve Tambellini will join them as well, but Poplinski's a big addition from the Calgary Flames.
I think they wanted his leadership. You know, he's a great guy, and he's a great guy in the dressing room, and he's a tough man out in the ice. He can play any forward position. And I think Dave King was looking for that extra leader. And, you know, when the players see a veteran like Poplinski working as hard as he'll work, it'll inspire everybody, and I'm sure that that's what they're looking for. I think it was a great choice.
Great opportunity for Jim. Wish he and Dave King and the rest of that team all the best.
Pretty big sacrifice by the Calgary Flames going on an 11-game road trip. Amo Francis said they could have given him to me for a few games.
Yeah. Poplinski's only played 2 international games as a pro, both with Calgary against touring Soviet sides, but he'll adapt. Here the Whalers are down by 1. Shot towards the goal was steered aside by Patrick Roy. Out at center now, Skrudland with a pass that was behind Richer. 5:13 to play in the third period. The Whalers pressing down by 1, 5-4. Cote flips the puck in. Paul McDermott in first after it. Larry Robinson can't clear it. Francis in front of the net to Turgeon. Can't get a good shot away, and it's off the side of the net. When he does, flip a weak one towards the goal. Sheehy back in his own zone. Collects the puck, turns it around quickly, and has it poked away by Richer. Turgeon, Deneen, and Francis have seen a lot of ice time, and here's Deneen with the puck in front, can't stuff it in. Francis battles for the loose puck. Sheehy gets it in the corner. In behind the goal is Deneen. Francis knocked away to the corner. Canadians are really on the ropes. Here's Samuelson, takes the shot. Wow, the save! And that looked like it might just go through the old 5-hole. Whalers are all over the half to trail by 1, 5-4 on this Molson hockey telecast from Montreal.
Favorite topic, plus minus. Jim, you give me all the negative players in the NHL right now, and if you're a negative player, that's supposed to be really bad, and I'll bet you we could win the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, I think so. Off this face-off, Babbage takes a shot. Off a skate. Whalers in pressing again. Gavin trying to get the puck loose. Lindsey Carson is there, so is Dean Evison. The Canadians come up with a puck. Maslin couldn't get it to Lemieux, and the Whalers bring it right back in. Lindsey Carson moving in with Evison. The pass off the base of the post. Maybe Waugh got a skate over there. Here they are again. Carson missed. Gavin shoots. Blocked by Waugh. Gavin again. Another save by Patrick Waugh. Evison right in front. Bobby Smith is there to get the puck this time. Here come the Canadians finally out of their own zone. Lemieux to the end boards. The Whalers will get possession again.
I know Svoboda and Chelios are great defensemen, but somebody better teach them how to take the body out there tonight in front of their goaltender.
Gavin to Tippett, hooked from behind by Robinson, and he couldn't shoot. Shots on goal in the third are 15-5 Whalers. Kerry Wilson turning away from Bobby Smith. McDermott's in front, centering pass, and it got by Dave Tippett, who was tied up. Cote keeps the puck in for Tippett. He has to go after it. Robinson to Lemieux. Not out at the blue line. Ladouceur keeps it in again. And it was outside the line, says Wayne Bonney. He'll get some argument from Ladouceur, but calls the play offside.
Well, the Whalers just keep putting that pressure on, and meanwhile, they aren't getting a great deal of resistance from the Canadians. They've got that 5-4 lead right now, but this is a typical Canadian style of defending their lead. They would usually play tight, good positional, and aggressive hockey. And you can see that between Evison and Carson,
and then Gavin,
that line has really, you know, had some good opportunities out there tonight. They just haven't had much ability to finish off.
Well, here's Turgeon again, and they were so happy to see him score because all of a sudden he's like a new player out there. He's hustling, back-checking, working, and he's the guy that could tie this up.
Here's Turgeon with the puck. Francis out in front, centering pass into the glove of Patrick Roy as Dineen goes down with Svoboda in front of the goal. 2:48 is the time remaining.
I think Dineen got hauled down. There's Ron Francis. He's one of those minus hockey players. He may be leading the Hartford Whalers right now in scoring, but he's -9. So I'll take him on my team.
There's an awful lot of pretty good minus hockey players around the NHL. You could have Francis at center. You could have Dale Howard, Chuck, Pat LaFontaine. How about a left winger named Michel Goulet? Or a right winger named Rick Vide? The all-minus all-stars. I hate the plus-minus statistic because it means that if you take it for what it is and say a minus player is bad and a plus player is good, then that means all of these guys are bad players, and you might win a Stanley Cup with a lot of minus players in the league.
There you go, Roger. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
I like that team.
That might be the only way you and I'll ever coach again is on paper.
2:35 left here. Whalers -1 to the Canadiens in the statistic that really counts. Sheehy's played a lot and has played well, and he has the puck. Keeps it in. Now here's Chelios. Francis deflected the puck. There to cover up is Svoboda. Guy Carbonneau tried to feed the open winger Gini, and he did get the puck out to center. Puck got up in the air and hit Carbonneau. There's a penalty coming up. It's a high sticking call. It wasn't a puck, obviously, that got Carbonneau.
I think it's the Hartford.
I think a high sticking penalty against the Whalers that might kill their chances.
It was an accident, but I don't think there's any question about it. The stick was up there, and Dineen's going to serve the penalty.
Well, you know, that's unfortunate because Dineen has played a heck of a hockey game tonight, but he's taken a couple of bad penalties, and this one right here pretty much puts the game away for the Canadiens if they can just stop the Hartford Whalers from scoring shorthanded. 2:02 remaining in this third period. The Canadiens up by 1.
Now we're going to see a defensive power play.
Well, watch the stick get up. Ooh, right there. It clips Keith Carbonneau. And Dineen goes at 17:58. Before we hand this victory to the Montreal Canadiens, I'll remind you of the game in November when we were here, and it was 3-2 for the Montreal Canadiens. Dana Merzen, then of the Whalers, took a penalty at 18:49 of the third period, and Stu Gavin scored a shorthanded goal to tie the game and send it to overtime.
Geez, you're right. What a memory you've got.
I believe a timeout has been called here. There's Neil Sheehy. He has played a lot tonight.
I think he's pretty happy to be back in the Hartford area. He went to school in Harvard. And he had some great years with the Calgary Flames, but I think that he and his family are pretty pleased with the move.
There were 3 Ivy Leaguers in that deal. Kerry Wilson played at Dartmouth. Wayne McDonald is another member in that deal. He's playing with the Olympic team right now. Who was also in the Ivy League.
I think that's the first time in the NHL history that has happened.
Canadiens are on a power play, leading 5-4, trying to put this one away. Sylvain Cote to Dave Tippett. 2-on-2, they move up. Shot in, Cote goes right after it. Green gets there first. Ryan Walter back. He's upended. Gets the puck around, and the Canadiens are 3-on-1. Wilson trying to get back. Smith to Naslund. Had to kick it up to his stick. Now the Canadiens set up in the power play. Walter goes for the front of the net. Smith's pass off the skate of Alt Samuelson. 1:20 to play in the third. Here's Larry Robinson. Shot by Smith and stopped by Liu. 1:10 to play in the third. Naslund to Green. In front, deflected by Robinson wide. Robinson. Last minute of play in the third. Regulation time 5-4 Canadiens. Hartford shorthanded. Robinson to Green. Shoots. Blocked by Liu, and he'll hold on. with 50 seconds to go.
I was kind of surprised that Robinson was moving in as much as he was, and he didn't really show much hustle to get back. He just let Naslund cover up for him back in the blue line. They may have a one-goal lead, but Hartford, when they had their opportunity, were pretty aggressive in the Canadiens' end zone as far as their forechecking goes.
It's a tough ending for the Whalers because I didn't think they would have the stamina to come back in this third period, and they really showed a lot of character and dominated most of the period.
Dave Tippett has scored tonight. Ray Ferrero has scored. Turgeon and Francis for the Whalers. Kordic, Lemieux, Richer, Chelios, and Walter for the Canadiens. The penalty to Dineen will expire 2 seconds prior to the end of the period. Whalers win the draw. They're right up on offense. Gavin is out at center. Francis is already out there. Even though they're shorthanded, they're going all out. And here comes Babbage in with Gavin. Stu Gavin lost control of the puck. Canadiens, if they can get it out, can break in 2-on-1 or 3-on-1, but the Whalers have to attack. 29 seconds left. Out at center, Babbage got the puck to Francis. He couldn't hold on. Turgeon goes after it. 15 seconds to go. Svoboda. Berisha. 10 seconds to go. Carbonneau for Dahlin. 5 seconds left. A big divisional game. And Turgeon shoots it as the horn sounds, and despite a great comeback in the third, the Whalers fall short, and the Canadiens hold on by the skin of their teeth to win 5-4.
Well, give the Canadiens the applause for the 2 points, but don't take anything away from the Hartford Whalers in this game tonight. They really fought back and had the Canadiens on the ropes, and who knows what would have happened had Dineen not had to spend the last 2 minutes in the penalty box.
Shots on goal in the game were 33-27 in favor of the Hartford Whalers, and they really took over in the third period, but they fell short. They'll play another game on Wednesday night in Hartford, but this one is won by the Canadiens. 5-4 over the Whalers from Montreal.
Selected by Mr. Yvon Pedneau from le Journal de Montréal. La première étoile, the first star, Chris Chelios. La deuxième étoile, the second star, Bobby Smith. Et la troisième étoile, the third star, Dave Tippett.
Once again, the 3 stars of this 5-4 Montreal win over the Hartford Whalers. Chris Chelios had a goal and 2 assists. The first star of the game. Bobby Smith had a pair of assists that was strong for the Canadiens. And Dave Tippett played a strong checking game and scored a goal in the third period to get the Whalers